from Lagos, the nation's commercial capital. This is the news at 10, live from Channels Television. Reported tonight, Bimbo Oloide.
Hello and welcome. Tonight, President Goodluck Jonathan forwards 4 ministerial nominees for Senate approval. One of them is the former Kano State Governor Ibrahim Shekarau. Niger State government dislodges 200 Islamists in a secret camp, calls them potential Boko Haram members. Tribunal in Awka gives verdict on Anambra governorship dispute, declares Willie Obiano the validly elected governor of the state. And the number of deaths from Ebola virus rises to 208 in Guinea.
And on business news tonight, new CBN Governor Godwin Emefiele unmarks agenda for Apex Bank tomorrow.
And on sports news tonight, Atletico Madrid striker Diego Costa close to completing a sensational move to English Premier League side Chelsea.
The former governor of Kano State, Ibrahim Shekarau, has been nominated for a ministerial position by the president. His name and those of 3 others have been sent to the Senate for confirmation. The other nominees are Abdul Bulama from Yobe State, Adedayo Adeyeye from Ekiti State, and the National Vice Chairman, South-South of the People's Democratic Party, Stephen Oru. They are to be screened at a later date. Meanwhile, the Senate has approved an amendment to the Constitution which will empower the Independent National Electoral Commission, INEC, to deregister any political party which fails to win any seat, be it at the federal or state level. The lawmakers approved clause by clause areas up for review in the 1999 Constitution that deal with the Electoral Act. Efforts by INEC to deregister political parties in the past were frustrated by litigation. Our correspondent, Linda Akibe, reports.
942.
With a few months to the 2015 general elections, the Senate is in a race against time to amend the Electoral Act. Amending the Electoral Act can only be achieved by amending the 1999 Constitution, which federal lawmakers sought to do at plenary. The Deputy Senate President, who heads the Constitutional Amendment Committee, highlighted the areas up for amendment.
Clause 4, which is the alteration of Section 134, to extend the time within which to do a rerun. In the event of no clear winner in either the presidential election or the gubernatorial election, the Constitution provides for 7 days for a rerun. But INEC is saying that 7 days is too short for them to be ready for such. So they are seeking an amendment to increase it from 7 days to 21 days. Clause 6 is in respect of an amendment to Section 225 by addition of a new Section 225A, which will now give the INEC powers to deregister a political party that fails to win either the presidential, the gubernatorial, House of Assembly, National Assembly, or any seat whatsoever. And then, so that instead of keeping them in the register, they can be deregistered.
The upper chamber equally voted in support of Clause 7, which deals with the conferment of a jurisdiction on the Federal High Court for the trial of electoral offences. But the exercise got off on a shaky note, as some lawmakers wanted more time to study the report.
We should better take it tomorrow, sir. There are areas which we need more clarification. So I would suggest that we take it up tomorrow.
Vote tomorrow or vote next year. We are going to vote one way or the other anyway. So if there are no real controversial issues, let's not drag it unnecessarily.
With the issue somewhat resolved, lawmakers went into voting proper. Lawmakers voted overwhelmingly in favor of the clauses up for amendment.
This provision seeks to empower INEC to deregister political parties for non-fulfillment of the provisions of the Constitution and acts of the National Assembly. 89 voted yes. Clause 6 is carried.
The Senate would on Thursday vote on the controversial Clause 9, which deals with the procedure of drafting an entirely new constitution. Linda Akibe, Channels Television News.
The Anambra Election Tribunal, sitting in Awka, the state capital, today declared Mr. Willie Obiano as the validly elected governor of Anambra State. Justice Ishak Bello upheld Mr. Obiano's victory, confirming him as the authentic chief executive of the state. The candidates of the All Progressive Congress of Nigeria in last November's election, Senator Chris Ngige, People's Democratic Party candidate Mr. Tony Nwoye, and the All Progressives Grand Alliance factional candidate Dr. Chike Odidigbo had gone to the tribunal to unseat Chief Obiano. The tribunal started hearing on February the 24th, concluded on May the 14th, but delivered judgment today. Now, a meeting of the Board of Trustees of the People's Democratic Party, PDP, is holding about now in the banquet hall of the presidential villa, with President Goodluck Jonathan presiding. Also present are Vice President Namadi Sambo, the Senate President, David Mark, and the Deputy Senate President, Ike Ekweremadu, the Chairman of the BOT, Chief Tony Aneni, as well as the National Chairman of the party, Adamu Mwazu. Former Chairman of the party, including Dr. Ahmadu Ali and Chief Barnabas Gemade, Chief Olabode George, former woman leader, Josephine Aneni, and the former Minister of Aviation, who is the current woman leader, Dr. Kema Chikwe, are also there. Present too are the governors of Jigawa, Plateau, and Katsina states. Journalists were barred from the coverage of the meeting, said to be in preparation for the National Executive Council meeting of the party, scheduled to hold at the party secretariat tomorrow. Scores of people have been reported killed in attacks by Boko Haram on some villages in Gwoza local government area of Borno State, northeast Nigeria. Worst hit is the village of Atagara, where the terrorists had on Sunday attacked a church, killing at least 9 people. A number of the militants were also killed by the villagers, who mobilized and chased them after the killings in the church. But yesterday, the Boko Haram fighters descended on Atagara, dressed in military uniforms, and killed several of the villagers after tricking them into believing that they were Nigerian soldiers sent there to protect them. Well, a stitch in time, they say, saves 9. That's what the Niger State government seems to be saying here, as it went on today to dislodge members of a radical and controversial Islamic sect, Nibrasia Huda, from Cheche in Lapai local government area of the state. The leader of the sect, Sheikh Mohammed Abubakar, with over 200 members, says they had come together only for the purpose of learning more of Islam and no other motive. However, the leader of a special task force set up by the state government to dislodge the sect, Lieutenant Colonel Adamu Yakubu, explained that the dislodgement is purely a security measure.
This group acquired this expanse of land along the ever-busy Lapai-Gulu road, but not many people know about their existence as an Islamic sect with over 200 members.
Everybody, even including me and Imam, knows the house.
The leader of the sect, Sheikh Mohammed Abubakar, wonders why the security agents raided their abode, as he claims that apart from Islamic studies, there's no other agenda.
Everybody, even including me and Imam, knows the house. The house is just too small to occupy 240 people. So we sought to acquire a land to occupy us in order to propagate Islam. We wrote it in the statement of acquisition of land, and it was written even in the CFO that we want to acquire this land solely for propagation of Islam, farming, and establishment of school. That's all.
He also dissociates the group from any link with the dreaded Boko Haram sect.
If I thought that had been our aim and our practice, God would have destroyed us for long. Because you can't use God's name to propagate dangerous things. What about Boko Haram? They are propagating dangerous things and we are fighting them. How can they fight us?
So what's your stake about Boko Haram, sir?
We don't recognize them. They don't want peace in the country. They don't want people to have rest. They have no aim. They have no policies. They want to destroy people. So we don't know anything about them. We don't follow their own pattern. We are normal Tijaniya sect, which is all over the world.
The leader of the task force, Lieutenant Colonel Adamu Yakubu, reveals that the task force has orders to dislodge the sect.
You can see some of them, they are already in the vehicles, and we are packing their property, and thereafter this place will be demolished. We are going to secure the place for several weeks as will be required, so that nobody comes to inhabit the place again.
This could just be a mere security measure, as many say perhaps the nation would not be in the extreme state of insecurity if the battle against Boko Haram had been launched much earlier than now.
A federal high court sitting in Abuja has turned down a request by the federal government for its witnesses to wear masks while giving testimony in terrorism trials. A Kogi State University lecturer, Dr. Nazim Yunus, and 2 others are being charged by the federal government for allegedly sponsoring the deadly activities of the Boko Haram sect. At the resumed sitting, trial judge Justice Gabriel Kolawole said the court has no powers to shelter witnesses completely from court staff. Consequently, the motion filed by the federal government on the 2nd of May 2014 was dismissed for lack of merit. Counsel to Dr. Yunus at the last adjourned date, Hassan Liman, said the application by the prosecution would delay accelerated hearing of the case and urged the court to reject it. In part 2, after the break, the family of MKO seeks justice for Kudirat Abiola, slain wife of the late business mogul. That's in a moment. Do stay with us.